Hey everybody out there on the internet, welcome again to another edition of Direct to Riff. Today I've got a product from 1999 known as the Yomega Zone. This is all about yo-yos, and I only have a passing interest in this mainly because for a brief moment in time I was, and this is going to sound so weird, a sponsored kendama player. If you want to look that stuff up, you're more than welcome to do so. Yeah. In another lifetime, that's what I was. And I had a couple friends who were really good with yo-yo, so I want to see if maybe this is what got them into it. So hold on to your butts, people, because here comes the Yomega Zone now. Oh boy, it's already 90s as all get out. Ooh, we got all the tricks. I wonder how many times they slugged themselves in the faces with those things, because when I played kendama, I nearly broke a toe. Just know that almost happened.
Welcome to the Yomega Zone. In this program, we're going to show you how to get the most out of your Yomega.
I guess your name is Brett.
And to help demonstrate all of these tricks,
And Vanessa, huh? She looks like
world champion Jennifer Bayberg, Guinness World Record holder Chris Yosik, and up-and-coming yo-yo star Eric Mintz.
This show is divided into segments so that you can
like, okay, do you have no hair at all and that's why you're wearing the hat backwards?
Basic tricks, intermediate.
Ooh, we've got some
If you
snazzy
like
graphics.
simply rewind the tape, zero the counter in your VCR, and use the time approximations to fast
Good night. She looks like she wants to be,
Or if this is the first Yomega yo-yo you purchased.
oh, no, I can't remember her name to save my life. Something about Mary. Shit. I'm worthless.
Keep your Yomega yo-yo in top condition.
But before we get started, here's 4 facts to impress your friends.
Don't worry, there's no quiz at the end of this.
Oh, good. Thank God. I'm not ready for school right now.
Come from the native Philippine language Tagalog, meaning come.
While some people say the yo-yo was developed.
Oh, I'm getting a history lesson on the yo-yo? This might actually be
It
informative.
appeared on the sides of ancient Grecian urns.
The first modern yo-yo
Seen
was
here
introduced
in
the US
ancient
in
CG.
when Pedro Flores, a Filipino man, demonstrated and sold yo-yos in a San Francisco hotel.
Until 1984, yo-yos were pretty much the same as they were in 1930. Until Yomega introduced the yo-yo with a brain.
A brain? You could use that.
Oh, thanks for stealing my line.
The brain is a plastic yo-yo with a centrifugal clutch, and it works this way. When the yo-yo is thrown hard enough towards
Yeah, when you get a trick yo-yo.
allow the yo-yo to spin freely. As the yo-yo slows down, springs push the clutches back together until they grab hold of the axle.
Oh, you can't really grab hold of things. Seen here, this
The
dude.
difference is the transaxle. See, with the traditional yo-yo, the string loops around the
Transaxle? We talking about yo-yos or we talking about motor
axle.
cars?
Special low-resistance plastic ring slips over the axle. The string wraps around the outside of the ring. With a Yomega yo-yo, the string never touches the axle. Not only
Never
does the ring
touches.
or spool permit extra
It
long
is
spins,
forbidden,
it
as
also
is
gives
God's
the string a
will.
The longer the spin, the more tricks you can do.
Which leads us to the longest spinning yo-yo of all.
Roller bearing yo-yos. In 1991,
Roller bearing yo-yos, so like now well, it is the 90s, so rollerblading in a yo-yo would be pretty standard, I think.
With the Raider,
Now all Yomega yo-yos are modular,
except for the Panther.
except for the Panther.
Except for the Panther. Don't forget the Panther. Oh my God, if we don't tell them about the Panther, holy shit.
You will get a knot in your yo-yo string between the halves. With a Yomega yo-yo, all you have to do is unscrew the halves, take it apart, undo the tangle, put the yo-yo back together. And
I don't know, that seems pretty complicated for
Don't
me.
take it apart to change the string. You only need
Get your hand out of your crotch, you weirdo.
Oil the axle or replace a bearing or spool.
We'll show you how to take it apart a little later. But first, there are a couple.
Are we allowed to show that sort of stuff?
Before you start to play.
Will that void my warranty?
Adjusting the string. Here's Chris to show you.
Chris, seen here, is, oh God. Oh, did you have to do that with the fonts?
Set the yo-yo on the floor with the string extended.
Why do you have a band-aid on your finger there, bud?
That's about 8 centimeters.
Above your waist and reform the knot
What?
loop so that the length of the string
It's a
is way
damn
smaller
yo.
than
You know, my mother saw me doing that to something that I just bought. She'd have handed my ass to me.
Using the loop you made, make a slip knot by pushing the yo-yo string through the loop.
It's not that easy to make a slip knot,
Put the slip loop
because they're quite a bitchin' band.
of the middle finger of your playing hand. Pull the slip knot until it grips your finger snugly. You are now ready to yo.
I am now ready to yo.
is to stay loose.
I'm learning new lingo, children. This is pretty wild.
When taking apart and reassembling the yo-yo, don't over-tighten because over-tightening might strip the axle or crack the plastic.
And
Speaking of crack the plastic, I think his nose is a little bit off kilter.
Counterclockwise until the yo-yo comes apart. Untangle the string and put the yo-yo back together.
remember, when putting the yo-yo back,
you've already showed me this once. Did the editor
overtighten.
fall asleep already?
To properly tighten the Yomega yo-yo, place one half of the yo-yo against the
You gotta
bottom
show it
of
in
the
slow
yo-yo, and
motion.
the other half with the other hand.
Prepare yourself for
Tighten it
yo-yo
until it slips in an
sexiness.
open palm when twisted.
To wind up the brain, grab one half of the yo-yo. with
Oh,
your
sweetheart, you're so reading off cue cards or a
It's easy to
teleprompter.
wind the string on a Yomega brain yo-yo.
To wind a non-brain Yomega yo-yo, such as a Fireball, Raider, or RB2, grab one half
Oh
of the
my
yo-yo
God,
with the fingers
we
of the non-brain.
seriously are going through
Place
these.
your index finger over the
This
grip
feels
of
like
the
a
yo-yo
video
and
instruction
wind the string
manual
once
or
over
owner's
the
manual for yo-yos, kind of like what they do for like
inside the finger for the second and third times.
automobiles.
Now pull your finger out of the loop. Wind the loop into the yo-yo. Finally, throw your yo-yo down and up.
And smash against the ground, because really, just screw it at this point. Alright, I give you credit for that. That looks pretty impressive.
Frequent string replacement.
You've
is
got
recommended to
awesome
keep the
string
Yomega
skills,
yo-yo
bro,
in top
but
shape.
it doesn't pay the rent, so you still gotta live in mom's basement.
Or dirty. If you own a Yomega brain, Fireball.
If you own a Yomega
you should know
brain.
that these require the double twist
It just
method.
doesn't sound right when you say it.
To perform the double twist method, first untwist a 4-inch section of the end of the new yo-yo string, which does not have a knotted loop, and hold this section of the string open. Loop the string over the yo-yo, but continue to hold the string open.
Next, twist the
I
string
am
by crossing
so
the strands
confused
and
right
loop
now.
over the yo-yo. Twist and loop again.
Twist and shout,
And
buddy.
finally,
Come on,
allow
baby
the
now.
natural twist in the string to relax the string.
If you own a Raider, Wing Force, Metallic Missile, or other
I don't want to have a Raider.
yo-yo,
I want to name one a
use the
Bronco or a
looping
Chief.
method to replace the string. Simply untwist the end of the string and slip over the yo-yo. You may gently twist the string so that it tightens toward the direction of the
Yes,
bearing
because
hand.
if you don't do it
Another
gently,
thing to remember
shit
about
goes
Yomega
down
yo-yo is that it
and
needs to
somebody
be
loses an eyeball.
That's right, oiled. Now, Yomega yo-yos are oiled at the Fall River, Massachusetts factory with a light oil.
What?
But you're still going to need to oil your yo-yo from time to time. A good rule.
Are you
is to
sure
oil your
we're not
yo-yo
talking
once
about
every 2 days
automobiles
play.
instead of
The
yo-yos?
best oil to use on the Yomega yo-yo is called Brain Lube, available from Yomega.
In fact, when oiling the axle, never.
I guarantee you, nobody, absolutely nobody, outside of like the diehards, ever did that.
To lubricate the brain,
Oh,
and power spin
again,
simply
we are dealing with the
unscrew
children's product, and we're
lubricate
talking about
unscrew
lubrication.
the axle. Using your official Yomega Brain Lube pen, apply only a small drop of Brain Lube along the axle.
So in
Place
other
the nylon
words,
spool
we don't need to
release
do
the halves
shit.
by screwing them back together and snugly tightening.
I bet that costs like 20 bucks to get that
Unscrew
pen.
the yo-yo halves and remove the string from the roller bearing. If your yo-yo has
Oh,
metal,
man.
metal spacers which hold the bearing in place, be sure not to lose them.
Way dude looks, he's ready for the club after this, and I'm sure he used some yo-yo moves to get some tail back then.
Reassemble the yo-yo halves, taking care not to over-tighten.
Before we move on,
Seriously, like, did he cut his finger off
yo-yo
with
needs oil if
playing
it
yo-yo?
does not return when you jerk the string.
Or if your
Let's
yo-yo
not say
has a high-pitched
jerk in front of
squealing
Chris
sound when you
here,
play with it.
because he clearly is a jerk. He might think you're talking about him.
At last, it's time to start with some tricks. We'll begin with the basics
No.
and work our way up towards more difficult tricks. All of the tricks covered in this section are also covered in the Yomega Trick Book under workstations 1 through 3.
At the heart of all tricks is a sleeper.
My God! Again, are we talking about a yo-yo, or are we now talking about like a computer manual? I feel like this is what we're doing here. The sleeper. Hey, I remember that from wrestling. Ted DiBiase had a pretty good one. The $1 Million Dream.
Jerk it as it reaches the end of the throw. Instead, what you want to do is hold your hand still, allowing the yo-yo to spin or sleep.
See, I could do that too when I played yo-yo. It was called I Let It Go, and it would stay on my finger. I could do that when I was 3, because I had no idea what I was doing.
And bring the yo-yo back to your hand. When you throw the Yomega yo-yo with a brain really hard, the yo-yo will sleep at the bottom until the brain automatically brings the yo-yo back to your hand.
To get a really solid sleeper,
Ooh, we have an automatic yo-yo. Good God. I can't believe AI is so proficient. Even back in 1999, we had it in our yo-yos. They just came back.
The harder you throw the yo-yo, the longer it will sleep. Turn your hand over and wait for the clutch to engage. If you are using a yo-yo,
I take it we pulled this young one out of the Beastie Boys fan club convention?
if the yo-yo is tilted to the right, aim a bit left of your target. If the yo-yo is tilted to the left, aim a bit to the right of the target.
It's essential.
Left, right, left, right. I don't know my left from my right. You gotta help me out with this, Vanessa.
Tricks build off this one, including our next 2 tricks.
The creeper and walk the dog.
Okay,
Let's start with the
I've heard of walk the
hard
dog.
sleeper and let it swing behind you. As it swings forward, let the yo-yo touch the ground. As the yo-yo clutch engages, the yo-yo will walk or creep back to your hand along the ground.
So everything you're teaching me right now is fling the damn thing and wait for it to just do its fucking thing.
On the outward end of the string. Just throw your hard
You know, even when I did kendama, like none of that shit was automatic. It was,
advanced players allow the
hey,
yo-yo to swing
get
back
the ball on the
and touch
cup
to the ground
or
its
on
own.
the spike.
This momentum will allow you to walk the dog even further.
It's important to practice these classics because mastering them will help you move on to more difficult tricks.
Our next level of trickery involves 3 new skills.
Let's check out Rock the Baby, Around the Corner, and one of my personal favorites, Forward Pass.
Rock the Baby requires
Rock the Baby is illegal in 57 states. If there were 57. I don't know. I'm just reading what the damn prompter tells me. And I failed geography, so what do I know? That was a bad joke, Sam.
To build the cradle, hold your right hand high in front of you, letting the dead, non-swinging hand down. Spread the fingers of your left hand
Kid.
wide. Bring your outstretched
I mean, it's not as bad as like Spin Master stuff,
and pinch the string.
like with the Crimson Sausage, or I've seen one of the Spider-Man action set, but he's
You should have built a triangle of string.
he's at least he's not speaking.
This cradle of string.
Like that's the other one I know of. Like I've seen that.
And without hesitation. After you feel confident, add the sleeper to the trick. Rocking the sleeping baby in the cradle.
Oh, so
The next trick
Okay.
is called Around the Corner or Pop in the Clutch. Like many others, you start with a hard sleeper. To make sure that it is sleeping
that would be
straight up
me.
and
I'm a pretty hard
swing the string
sleeper.
around
My wife can attest to that.
of your yo-yo arm, so that the yo-yo hangs behind you, draped over your upper arm. If you are using a fireball or raider, give the string a jerk just above the yo-yo to bring it home. Just make sure
Okay, that was
you are ready to
kind of
catch the yo-yo
impressive,
on its
but
turn.
seeing as how you're doing this with what is essentially a Game Genie yo-yo,
As it is in and out.
I'm not
Start by
as
putting your
impressed.
hand straight down, facing your palm back.
I mean, I imagine this stuff is hard.
About a foot and bring it forward, simultaneously releasing the yo-yo.
The fact that
Your yo-yo will
it
swing
can
out
do
and come
all
back.
this shit
Catch the yo-yo
automatic
with your palm up.
feels...
A word of caution.
It's cheating!
Before we move ahead, our next trick around the world should be practiced in a safe, open area, preferably outdoors.
And with a helmet
Be careful
on.
not to perform or practice this maneuver near window, glass objects, pets, or people.
And always check behind you before you begin this trick.
Make sure you're in a clear
I'm
area.
glad to see George Cooper had something going on after he died.
Throw the yo-yo straight out in front of you like a forward pass. However, instead of calling the yo-yo back to you, swing the sleeping yo-yo in a large circle. At the end of
Again,
the string. As it comes back around,
that is impressive to keep it so it doesn't like swing out of control. But the fact that it's gonna come back when the clutch engages again.
Circle has been made. Also, if your brain yo-yo is coming back prematurely, throw the yo-yo out a little harder next time.
We don't want to talk about premature anything with children, okay? Can we keep it a little bit more tasteful?
Don't be discouraged if you have difficulty with it in the beginning.
Okay, now we're not talking about yo-yos or vehicles anymore. We're talking about something that happens when you come of age.
Around the inside of your wrist with a circular motion.
Emphasis on come.
Out forward as if performing another forward pass. Repeat this as often as you can and set progressively harder goals. Start with a single.
It's like if Forrest Gump grew up in the 1990s and instead of ping pong developed a taste for yo-yo. Life is like a box of Yomegas. You always hope the thing comes back.
Tighten the string around the axle before attempting repeated loops. Each loop will loosen the string 1/2 turn. For left-handed loops, each loop will tighten the string 1/2 turn.
Ooh. Hey, that was alright. Are we going to watch that instead?
Sleeping Beauty is a beautiful trick to watch when performed smoothly.
Sleeping Beauty is a beautiful thing to watch. Who wrote your script? They're lazy.
So that it rotates like a flying saucer. Take your free
Oh, so
string a few inches from the yo-yo.
So I was doing that when I was 5, but I had no clue what I was doing.
Hands at the same time. Let the yo-yo wind up and it returns to your hand.
Not like I'm bragging here or anything, but seriously, all these tricks seem like what you would do when you don't know what you're doing with yo-yos. But you harness them to look a little bit stylish. It's kind of like the person who walks around in bell bottoms today, and it's totally out of they're totally out of sync, but they're owning it. That's kind of what these tricks are like.
That almost appears to defy gravity. To do this maneuver, hold the yo-yo in your right hand and make a muscle.
Hey,
after it unwinds,
is that the way his shirt is, or hey, pull your shirt down?
At your height of your left shoulder. Let the yo-yo hang at shoulder level for a second or so. As it starts to fall, snap it back to your hand.
While practicing, imagine or draw with chalk a straight line across the ground in front of you.
Why are we doing that now? Why do we need extra? Why do we need props with this? Oh my God, this is like learning to skate with Aaron. You're telling me things, but you're not really giving me information.
The fluttering string will create a vibrating sound. To complete this maneuver, jerk the yo-yo up to your chest level and about a foot to the side of your yo-yo. The yo-yo should then return to your hand.
I'm guaranteed this has been changed.
Confederate flag. Start this maneuver with your yo-yo dead at the bottom of with your palms
dead, huh?
And with the fingers of your left and right hands pointing towards each other. Put 3 fingers of your left hand together with your baby finger apart and pointing.
Jesus Christ, this is getting a little bit complicated.
Reach over with the same 3 fingers of your right hand.
And you do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself about.
Right hand back to the right. Complete the X part of the flag by reaching over with the same 3 fingers of your right hand and grab the string below your right hand. To complete the flag, reach over with your right pinky finger and snag the string hanging below your left hand. After you master these motions with a dead string, add the sleeper.
Ooh. Okay, I mean, cameraman's in the shot, that's good. Can we... that name has to have changed by now. And the less said about these things, the better. Because now we've gone from talking about the Rebel South to shaking a baby. Great. It's a wonder yo-yos still exist.
On the final flip, throw the yo-yo away from you and catch it as it returns.
A word of caution.
This will knock out your teeth because you're stupid.
Otherwise, you may find that you are tying your string into a giant knot.
I think I'd rather watch that right now than any of this.
Throw a very hard Sleeping Beauty at a 45-degree angle.
Throw a very hard Sleeping Beauty. I don't think Belle would appreciate that.
in a semicircle from left to right. Count out loud as the yo-yo progresses around the bases. First base.
Oh,
second
okay.
base, third base.
That's how. I was like, how in the hell is this even like baseball? So they're going around the horn.
Flick it back out and do a loop-the-loop.
Fine.
Catching it with a clean catch.
Like, this is now almost becoming like an infomercial for like a bad health and wellness product. Except nobody's. I'm sorry.
This trick has also been called slurp the spaghetti, eating linguine, and Eddie spaghetti. After throwing
Why?
the sleeper, keep gathering pieces of the string alternately with your right and left hand, creating strands
What
of
the
spaghetti
fuck?
hanging down from your yo-yo hand. Bring the spaghetti up to your mouth, drop the yo-yo, and at the same time make a loud slurping sound. As the yo-yo
No!
spins, it will wind up the loose string.
Dear God,
By the time
no!
you slurping sound correctly, it will look as if you've slurped the spaghetti into your mouth.
Be sure to keep
What
your
the
free hand
fuck?
palm side down to protect your mouth and face
You know-
during the slurping catch.
Yeah, because you're gonna get rope burn. You fucking idiots.
Step 1, you guessed it.
Maybe it's now me,
Now place
but
your
the
free
fact
hand
that when,
straight out.
like I said, when I played
Slowly
Kendama,
place the
like
string
our
over your
tricks,
free hand's index finger.
and some I
Now
did
reach
create
your free hand
myself,
lowering your yo-yo until the yo-yo gets to within 6
had,
inches from your free hand.
like, I
When
don't
you get to this
know,
point, quickly flip your yo-yo
like,
over the
some of these things, again, not saying that any of this shit is easy,
Similar to throwing
but
the loop towards the ground.
there's,
Start by throwing a soft stick or ground
again,
poke.
the it just
As
feels
the
like a
yo-yo
Game
comes
Genie
back
code,
up,
and,
flip your wrist
like,
forward, allowing the yo-yo to jump over your hand and continue to move toward the floor.
I don't know.
At this point,
I almost
you
feel
have
like
to use two ways to perform this
they're
trick.
kind of stretching this.
Keep the yo-yo going over your wrist in the same direction every time, or if you prefer, you can flip your wrist backwards on the next pass, setting the yo-yo back.
The cameraman is there again. Could you,
This version is sometimes called the
Jerry,
hop.
get off
Whichever
the
method you
set.
choose, repeat the hops as many times as you can, alternating the direction of the hop with each pass over the wrist.
She doesn't want to be here either.
Welcome to the Eiffel Tower. The easiest way to learn this trick is
By not doing it.
Now, touch the back of your free hand's thumb against the string. In circular
God, this is like doing
motion,
cat's cradles
your
with a
free
girl.
hand down. Touch the back of your yo-yo.
I never understood that, and I don't understand
Using the
this.
same circular motion, bring your free hand over and down. Pinch the string with your thumb and index finger. Keeping the string pinched
You know, this would
with
end
your
up-
hand, move your yo-yo
This
hand in a
this
half
would
circle
end up tying me up, and someone could kidnap me.
letting the string fall off. of
That's
your
exactly what
fingers
this would
into
do.
place. Your yo-yo hand should be palm up. With a little adjusting, you should
It
be
looks
able
more
to
like a
sit down and
rocket
take form.
than actually looks
These
more like
next
a
tricks will
penis.
Make your yo-yo routine anything but routine.
Buzzsaw, run the dog, man on the flying trapeze, and motorcycle should make your performances a bit more theatrical.
Please don't attempt to try and improvise.
To perform buzzsaw, have a friend hold a piece of paper tightly.
Oh, now we need more props?
Gently run the spinning yo-yo across the paper. This will create a power saw cutting sound.
Wow.
This trick actually works
You
best
have to
in a
be
tissue box.
creatively bankrupt.
Run the dog is a trick that is always fun with a crowd.
And I'm sure the crowd is
Gently
like,
loosen
wow.
the loop from your finger. Allow the yo-yo to touch the ground and immediately release the string from your hand. The yo-yo will take off across the floor, running as it winds up the string. Just make sure no one is in the way of your yo-yo as it speeds away.
So in other words, just drop the damn thing.
The man on the
Are you
front
fucking
is a
kidding
more
me?
advanced trick that will require a considerable amount of practice to perfect. Begin with
I hate to break it to you, but my Aunt Norma could do that damn trick.
Forefinger. As it swings around in an
And
arc,
she was doing it without
on
the
string.
brain.
That's right, on the string. This is the part that will require a lot of practice. Bring your hands together, rock it, pull your hands apart, and then pop it off the string.
No, seriously, my Aunt Norma could do that.
Appear fruitless, and you're tempted to think
You're
"You'll
making-
get this one. Don't give up. You'll get it.
No, you should give up. The fact that you're... Oh.
To build your own motorcycle, throw a fast sleeper. Then with your left hand, grab the string. with
These
your thumb and
names.
forefinger. Lift your left hand
Like,
above your
how many
right.
takes did some of this
Grab
shit
the string
take?
between your right center
Like,
finger.
how many did they have to go
Reach through the
through?
loop in your
Because to
right
say
hand,
some of this
pulling the
stuff
string
with a
through
straight
the loop
face.
to form the handlebars of the motorcycle. Touch
What?
the still spinning yo-yo to the floor and let it walk as you pursue it, making a roaring motorcycle sound.
Are you serious now?
Before we move on to our last 2 levels of tricks, let's take 1 second to meet
Wait,
our
2
next
levels of
trick.
tricks?
World champion Jennifer Baybrook.
I was wondering when we were going to get back to her.
I am the 1998 World Yo-Yo Champion. I got into yo-yoing when I was 6 and a half by a Churio yo-yo demonstrator who was teaching yo-yo lessons at the campground I was camping at. And I picked up the yo-yo, got involved in the lessons, and kind of just...
I wonder what's ever happened to
It was just a
her.
lot of fun for me at the time. It still is. I have a blast doing it.
I love doing this. It's so much fun. Everything about it makes me giggle. Tee tee.
Traveling the world playing yo-yos all over for boys and girls. I use the Yomega Raider and the RB2 because it was a long spinning yo-yo and it's good for high performance playing, for really advanced playing.
And so, like, I'm thinking really hard about what I'm saying here because I'm trying to make it at least look like I'm not reading off a prompter.
The tidal wave starts.
I'll give you
with
props
hard
on that one.
Place your
That
right
was nice.
forefinger under the string and touch that finger to your right forefinger. Then slide your left forefinger upward.
Oh, come on. You got to read these things a little bit better.
Whip the yo-yo inside as if you were throwing a loop-the-loop. Send the yo-yo
Okay, that's her yo-yo
jerk it back to your hand.
holder. For a second there, I thought she had a pack of smokes tied to her belt. I was like, girl, you shouldn't have a pack of smokes on set.
Load the yo-yo onto the string with an undermount or bottom mount. This movement is performed by pushing your left forefinger sharply into the string, flipping the yo-yo over the finger and onto the string. Then come over your index finger again. Position the index finger of your right hand against the inside of the string closest to your body and pull down on the string so that the yo-yo slides up and comes over your index finger.
Okay. That looks noticeably complicated. I give you props for that one.
Back in front of the string closest to you. Bring your finger back down under the yo-yo and back up.
I all of a sudden have an urge to have a lollipop.
Slide your left finger out of the yo-yo string, pull up with your right hand, let the yo-yo swing out, and finish the maneuver with 2 rotations and a Ferris wheel dismount.
Ferris wheel dismount. Wow, we're making every... Like, that's a thing.
Now, instead of grabbing
Between my skating and kendama, like, everything has a name to make it sound like you're doing something way more complicated than you actually are.
World Tour is exactly like Around the World, except that it starts with a breakaway, and the yo-yo goes around the world in front of you, across your body. A tug on the string as the yo-yo comes back around will return it to your hand.
Ooh! This is so fast it can actually kill a man.
Begin warp drive. As the yo-yo returns to your hand.
Speaking of which,
send it out in front of you.
show me the moves that they learned in games like The Goonies 2 and Star Tropics that make, you know, the yo-yo so deadly. Are you going to show me those? Because that would be great.
The idea of the trick is to...
Because I have thought about
then a single loop, then an around the world.
kendamas being, I mean, they're basically weapons because they're hard wood that you're swinging around. And I do know that there was a character in Samurai Warriors that used kendamas. So, like, that kind of vindicated it. But yo-yos in other games are usually kind of laughable. I remember it was the main weapon of the Noid in Yo Noid. Yeah, it's the main weapon in Star Tropics.
Start with a hard sleep.
Who else used it?
While the yo-yo is sleeping, quickly loosen the slip knot around your finger and remove the string from your yo-yo hand. Pinch the loop between your 2 fingers and jerk on the yo-yo string. The yo-yo should continue to travel up and over your head. As the yo-yo reaches its zenith and begins to fall back to earth.
I learned a new word today. Zenith. It's not just a TV.
To land in your pocket.
Be sure to practice this trick in a big open area with a high ceiling, or even better, outdoors on grass. Learn how to
Yeah.
make it go straight up. And
Playing
straight
yo-yo
down.
while high on weed probably would help
Learn how
you.
to control the flight of the yo-yo before you attempt this trick in public.
Be aware that if the yo-yo
Don't do any of this shit in public.
you risk striking
Pe-
an audience member on his way down.
You have
People.
reached the
Well, I
final
mean, that was
level
kind of
of
clever. But people are gonna
This is
mock
workstation
you.
8.
Just get used to it.
These next 8 tricks take everything you've learned and put them to the test.
Let's take a look as Jennifer shows us double or nothing, shoot the moon, vertical loops, atomic bomb, 3-leaf clover.
I feel like.
dog bite,
Whoa.
and of course, two-handed loops.
That one thing that wrapped around her leg, is that called humping the dog? The dog. Humping the dog. More like the dog
Do
humper.
not catch the yo-yo on the string at this point. Let the yo-yo continue around your right forefinger, then up and around your left forefinger a second time. On the second flip, catch the yo-yo on one of the strings stretched out between your 2 hands.
I mean,
You exit
this
the
stuff
yo-yo
is now
the
starting to
same
get
way you exit
impressive.
Man on the flying trapeze. Flip the yo-yo straight up off the string. Release the strings wrapped around your forefingers, and catch the yo-yo as it returns to your hand.
I still think she has cigarettes in there.
Shoot the moon begins with a forward pass aimed slightly upward. As the yo-yo returns, do not catch it. Instead, bend
Eat
your
it.
fingers in and flick your wrist around.
Yeah, like seriously, that looks like some
Straight up
just
into the air
bam,
above
like
your head.
take your chin out.
Then, as the yo-yo returns, flip it back out in front of you. As it returns to your hand, you have 2 choices. You can catch
Either
the yo-yo,
do the trick or
you can
fuck
flip
it
your wrist
up.
again as you did before and send the yo-yo back up directly over your head.
Be extremely careful while practicing this trick. There is
Loss
a
of
very
teeth
real
in
danger
life
striking
is
this
usually a
upwards.
common occurrence when attempting
Before
any of
attempting
this.
trick, make sure
You are not looking directly into the sun or other bright light.
no obstacles such as screens or lighting fixtures get tangled in your string.
And if you are indoors, be sure the ceiling is at least 10 feet high. If the ceiling is too low, kneel down before attempting the trick.
Also,
In other words, don't
wear
even
a
do
bicycle
it.
helmet while learning this trick.
Vertical loops are the ultimate single-handed loop-the-loop maneuver.
It looks like she's in
They're
pain
exactly
now.
like loop-the-loop, except that you throw the yo-yo vertically straight up and down above your head. Again, be very careful not to hit your face when the yo-yo returns.
Emphasis on oh, okay.
The atomic bomb, many experts consider, is the most difficult single yo-yo trick of all. Start with an over-under mount, which means...
But we're
you
gonna make it
start
sound like
by
it's the
holding
simplest
the
thing on
yo-yo in your
earth.
left hand and under your right hand, followed by mounting the yo-yo on the string. Now, slide your left hand down below the yo-yo and pull your left hand straight up and allow the yo-yo to
Well, that looks like the
transfer
other
from one string
trick.
to the other. Slide
I mean,
your
I
left
know I'm
hand
not
under the
educated,
yo-yo
but-
again and slide it back up, allowing the yo-yo to again transfer from one string to the other.
It looks like the other
Slide your finger
tricks.
out and lift your right hand straight up into the air. If you're really in the Yomega zone, you might enjoy finishing this maneuver with a Ferris wheel dismount.
Ooh. Ooh, we've even pulled out some stock footage for this one. Good for you.
Another variety of loop-the-loop is a 3-leaf clover. First, throw
Three-leaf clover is pretty much what you see in the grass. I don't think you'd give it a common name like that.
Straight out in front of you. This time, as it returns, send it over the falls and catch it on the return.
What?
The dog bite.
Oh, okay, it's
performed
close.
Flawlessly. Seems as if the yo-yo actually bites your pants and hangs there. This is a difficult trick, but when performed properly, it's quite funny. Throw a fast sleeper. Swing the yo-yo backwards between your legs and retrieve it in such a way that the spinning yo-yo catches on the back of your pant leg. Pulling on the string will release the yo-yo from its grip. Be sure to wear loose pants and long
Pants.
pants best.
Split the atom. In this trick, we start with the over-under.
You are trying so hard. I applaud you, girl. I really do. You're plotting through this almost as bad as I am with this whatever it is I do here.
Then slide your right hand under the yo-yo.
You cannot be any less enthused at this point, and I don't blame you. I'm kind of there too. Maybe if I can get some smokes out of her pocket there, I'd be alright.
Ferris wheel dismount.
so fucking magical.
Our final trick is known as two-handed loops. The key is to get the hang of looping with one hand first, and then try looping with two hands.
He's not much better at reading the cue cards.
You can loop as well as you can with your yo-yo hand. Once you get fairly confident of your ability to loop with your
Like he's swaying back and forth to make it look like he is not reading.
Time your throws so that one yo-yo is going out as the other is coming back. Proficient two-handed looping is a definite sign.
This is what makes you become a ninja.
Well, we've been all over today. We've seen
Yeah, and I haven't learned a damn thing. Thank you for that.
You've seen it.
You've heard about it.
Now there's only one thing left.
Do it.
You know how many takes that took? Half the day was wasted on just that shot. Because he is so incompetent. Oh, man, I'd have laughed if they'd have fucked up and knocked each other's teeth out. Yeah, I'm not visiting that site. I have no interest to do so. Ugh, well, that was something. Something indeed. I mean, don't get me wrong, yo-yo can be cool. But a lot of their tricks just didn't really seem to be tricks. Now, the later stuff, yeah, that was pretty wild, but that earlier stuff, no. And I don't know if it's just because, like I say, I played kendama for a while, but some of that just wasn't impressive. I mean, not that I'd ever show anybody. I mean, it was a long time ago, and I mean, I did things. I don't know if I'd consider them great, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just, my perspective is I can respect it, but I can't really go, oh. I mean, I did have, like I said, I had some friends. My friend Richard was really good with his, but I never could really get behind it. Just like I can't really get behind this director Riff. It happened though. If you made it this far, God bless you. So, well, the Yomega Zone zoned me out, and until next time, party people, toodles.